Welcome to Tier 1 of Breakout Racing League. I will be your comms tonight, Wrathful, and unfortunately our Dan the Lad could not make it this time around, so I am filling in for him this time. He shall hopefully be back next week to be your regular comms on for Tier 1, but for now, let's just try and get through this with me, huh? What's up, Phantom? You gonna help me out here? Well, apparently I'm doing comms for Tier 1, so here we are. Yeah, it kind of caught me for a loop because you jumped off and I jumped over to our Discord and we were looking for comms 10 minutes before the race. You know how that goes. Obviously volunteered to make sure everything goes well. The way we are at BRL, we try to help each other out when we can, if we can. And let's get us on to Azerbaijan. See how these guys get on for their laps. Much more rapid than what I am doing, so hopefully some of us Tier 4 and under guys can maybe find a little bit more pace by watching Tier 1. Usually how it works, but we'll have to see. And I'm getting a message from one of our drivers about the weather conditions. BRL Williams, thank you very much for letting me know that it is overcast in both the quali and the race. So it's going to be a very similar situation what they have now. A little bit of cloud, maybe just changing up the track temp a little bit. But for the most part, we'll have to see how these guys get on, as Neymar is the first car out on the track. Get some telemetry going on, see who's equipped what tires and what's going on. Neymar, the only one on the mediums, everybody else already out to the softs, but we'll have to see. I do believe Chandler's first out. I thought it was Neymar, but I guess I must have missed him, or he let him through at some point, and Chandler just kind of slipped past and was trying to get that first lap done. Looks like there is quite a bit of a grouping going through Castle section, just trying to be mindful of that. But everyone getting ready for an out lap to make their run. Really, the lap starts somewhere back here, because this is where you start getting your run.
Currently, everybody is on an out lap except for Meadfern. We have 16 drivers for today.
Tidy little turn one. These guys look so slow when they're driving, but honestly, it's just because they're so smooth on the traction. It just seems like that, but frick, are they actually rapid.
Don't see any mistakes, no lockups really, or a few.
A little lockup from Chandler into turn 3, just trying to get a little bit of traction in, but yeah, very clean. Right to the walls every time, without taking any wing. That's his obvious purple sector 1, being the first car out. So tight through there, and he just literally gets right onto the wall of pretty much every part of that castle section, just making the most of the track. Very impressive. You have a yellow sector 1. I think Ferrari's had an issue after turn 3. Hopefully that doesn't impede anybody's lap. What is Chandler going to set as he's flying through the end high-speed chicane in sector 3 to just drive this long line down for his time? Coming up to the DRS zone at a 132. That's an amazing benchmark that I've got to keep in mind for my pace, but he's going to set a 38.6 as our provisional. Neymar didn't do anything on those softs from what it looks like. He came right in. Everyone else making their run. Let's see. We're going to have a lot of cars coming down. I believe that's Perandi up front. That's a 36 flat. What's Hoop got? Hoop's got a 37.8. Behind him, we got Ginger with a 38.4. What else we got? We got Mex Stalos with a 38.9. And in back, we got B-Dunk coming in fourth with a 38.5. What else we got? I believe that's Jared. Jared's going to put himself P2, 37.9. Williams in behind of Jack Lee. I believe he's a newer driver to BRL, but I could be mistaken, but that's a 39.2, a decent time so far for just a banker. Everybody else still making their way through. Master Berserk, not having a great run. FinFan puts himself 38.9. Deer Hunter with a 43.6, so he's had some issues. Looks like he's had his whole wing, so maybe he got into some traffic in front of him. Into that sector, or turn 3 that I was talking earlier, but... ABR, yeah. Young buck that just joined and into tier 1 already. Like to see how well he can get on with some of the speed that tier 1 definitely has. Everyone already throwing it up right into the 38s, 37s, so these guys are putting down some fast laps.
One thing I do find interesting, at least between all the Tier 1 drivers, is how they abuse the curb right at Sector 2 going into Sector 3. Some of the drivers will completely ride that curb where others don't want to touch it and deal with it whatsoever. It's interesting seeing all the driving styles between everyone.
Yeah, a lot of these curbs, it's definitely an interesting call between which ones you want to take roughly and which ones you want to like kind of dodge. You know, just between all the sausage curbs and so many corners, but definitely agree to that. Oh, Neymar gets an invalidation coming out of the castle. Unfortunately, that's not going to help his run so far. BRL Williams, only other man out on mediums to take a run out there on that tire, but maybe he's thinking that a 37 is a little much. But then again, with 16 cars, it should be pretty easy to get into the top 10. Unless he really wants that invert strategy, I'm not quite sure, or if he's just trying to set a banker on those mediums first. T is coming down through, almost down to that Sector 3 mark. How is he going to handle this? Dodges the whole curb, but gets a little bit too much into the wall. It's not going to help his run. Takes off that end plate. Yeah, he's just going to cut it and try to get back into the pits. And that's going to be lots of wing damage for him. Not helping his run at all. But should have lots of time to get back into the pits as long as there's no other issues here. No.
And not too long ago, Meadfern crossed the line with the 39.6. Puts him in P11 for now.
Definitely wanting to get more out of that. That puts some 410s back from the next guy up, so I'm sure he's going to want more out of it.
Yeah, if any of these guys at least want to be in top 10, stick with their tires, they're potentially going to be looking for a 38.6 to a 38 mid.
Be definitely interesting as these guys are very close in this qualify. I only have 3 drivers so far to hit that 37 mark, but maybe by the end of the session we'll have quite a few more as the track does develop. And Williams making his way through turn 2 now, DRS open, getting good traction so far on those mediums. I wonder what kind of time he's going to be able to pull out of it. Catch up with him. Neymar might be coming back into the pits. Who else might be on a run? Out lap for Chandler. And Meanfern is coming into the pits or doing another lap? No, probably coming into the pits.
As Chandler
Lots of
crosses the line to
drivers.
start his lap.
Lots of drivers on outlaps now trying to get that second run in. But right now, Williams on his run through. Looks like Deer Hunter's had a little bit of issues. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot if that's wing damage. I'm not able to see right now. Let's take a look quick. Nope, no wing damage, just took it slow. Maybe just a quick little lock up, but or letting another car through. Williams coming down. Got a 33, 34 coming down to the zone. Is it going to be enough for him on those mediums? It's going to be a little bit off. A 44.6. I know he's not super happy with that. I'm sure he wanted a little bit more out of it, but that's the way it goes with those mediums compared to the soft tire. Here, it's quite a difference in traction.
As it looks like sorry to cut you off, but it looks like both the Alfa
No, go ahead.
Romeo boys are giving each other a tow. Chandler's coming in to finish his lap right as FinFan's about to start his.
Chandler's just trying to make it nice and easy, not using too much energy to get around his teammate as they're going for a line drive down to the line. That's going to give him just that bit more of pace that he needed. 37.59 is going to be a little bit clearer of Ryan, but I'm sure he's going to want everybody's going to try to improve. And we have Mattia out, unfortunately, in Sector 3, which isn't going to help his run. He'll be starting from the back. Max Stalos is on an outlap, trying to get his run going. Hoopalicious, I believe, is on a lap, trying to put one down. What's he going to be able to do? Already up into P4. No, he's going to abort, come right into the pits. Probably just restack for another run. Ginger Horizon taking a little bit of wall and castle, but able to really maintain his pace all the way through, so hopefully improve a little bit on his time. Sure, that's not what he wanted, but yeah, he's already turned it off, so no ERS usage. I guess he's not going for it.
Inject P7 with 38.4, just behind
Yeah,
Ginger Horizon.
Decent lap so far to split the two McLaren drivers. We do have FinFan crashing out into Castle section, unfortunately, and that will end his run. I'm pretty sure he was on a hot lap and was trying to give it everything, and that's unfortunately the way it goes, but hate to see it happen. Master Berserk is on his way through his lap. See what he can get, as he hasn't set a time yet. Takes a lot of that curb, doesn't invalidate. And what can Master Berserk do? Hugging that wall as he comes through with a lot of speed. Oh, gonna come down to the milliseconds, honestly, here. It's a 37 milliseconds is what matters. But 39.2 is gonna put him P11 for now. I'm sure he's gonna want a little bit more, hit that 38 mark. But yeah, got quite a few moves. Brandi into the pits as well. Mex Stalos, I believe, is on a lap, not improving a whole lot, but still improving. And that little bit might be enough just to get ahead of FinFan, who's already crashed out into Castle, which would bump him down into P10. Not what he wants, but not able to improve a whole lot, but still stays P10. Jackley, I'm sure, is probably going to be into the pits to maybe get a final run. Everybody else is probably going to try and get a final run. I do see a Deer Hunter out there. No, he's 0 ERS. Williams getting out for early outlap. Neymar already on a run.
I believe the next car across the line will
Red
be
Bull behind him.
Mean Fern momentarily.
And
Improves
he
up
only
to
improves
P11.
4/10. P11. Then we got back to Neymar. What's he got? And that is a 38.8 for him. He's got the Red Bull in behind him, though, of Hoopalicious, I believe. No real issues there. So Neymar getting right out of the way. As Hoopalicious is starting his lap out of turn 2. Looks like Ryan and Parandi are coming out, or maybe Jared and Parandi are coming out, but yeah. A few of these guys are starting to line up for their final run. Come on, Hoop, what do you got? Let's see you smash this castle section.
I'm going to update. DRC Jared just said purple sector 1, so this could provisionally be his teammate New Zealand Ryan, and also Chandler.
Hoop tags a little bit of the wall coming out of... Oh, and he invalidates there. I don't think he's got time to get in and out. That's going to be the end of his run, I think, unless he's got enough fuel to make another one. But Jared on his way through, catching up to Hoopalicious, cuts a lot of that curb. Interesting to learn for myself, but yeah, these guys are really pushing hard into the end here. Jared trying to get any split stream he can from Hoop, as Hoop is coming down over his line. Jared's trying to gain any little bit of pace he can, try to get himself up into that pole position. As Hoopalicious is into the pits, Jared into the pits. So that's probably going to be the end of his run. I do believe Neymar was coming into the pits. What is Parandi doing? Is Parandi going to keep going? He's on an outlap, so I'm going to guess he's going to keep going. And he's going to start his run. We still have Ginger Horizon, which is the farthest car through, to complete his lap. Being chased by Mean Fern, just in behind there, but a little bit back, and then his teammate B-Dunk is a little bit farther. So brave into Castle. You guys are amazing. I wish I had that kind of bravery. It is very interesting to see those guys with so much speed make it through Castle like it's not a big deal. This is Ginger sets a purple sector 2. Maybe this will be the lap for him. Try and get this done and up and out of P6. I think he's got a bit more pace than his old lap. 5/10 down from Jared. Will he be able to close in that gap? Maybe get ahead of Jared? No, not quite, but it does improve a bit on his time, which will help him protect himself against Jackley, who's on an outlap as well, who wants to improve that little bit. I'm sure Ginger doesn't quite have time, as everybody else is trying to make their outlap done and over with. Getting out of the way of Chandler, who's making a hard push for the line to get his outlap done. Rondi's still on the run, 1:30 on the clock, trying to improve. I'm not sure that's been his best lap so far, but it might have been. I don't think so. Yeah, he's bailing into the pits for Parandi. Everybody else is trying to start their run. I do believe Master Berserk is going to start his run, and several other drivers as Chandler is in behind him. But let's see how B-Dunk and got through. B-Dunk doing a lap now. Yes, he's up a 10th. These guys are all trying to get through. How's Jared doing? Ryan, they're both on outlaps. Neymar on an outlap, so yeah. B-Dunk pushing hard. Let's see what you can do, if you can improve. I hope you do. Cars ahead going quite slow, trying to prep themselves for a final run. Ginger waiting up for him just to help him give a tow down this front straight. Is it going to be enough to move him from P8? As he's grabbing as much split stream as he can. DRS open, clawing a little bit closer to his teammate. Closer, closer, closer. And that's going to be P3 with a 37.675. So good on him to get done. Good on the McLaren team for such an effort. As Master Berserk is on his way through, almost up a second into the final turns now, coming down over the line. A second off of his time would promote him quite a few positions, somewhere in between Ginger Horizon and Jackley. We'll have to see as he comes down over the line. It's a 38.3, and that's right in between Jared and Ginger Horizon, so that's exactly where he probably wanted to be. Let's see, we also have Deer Hunter and BRL Williams trying to get their way through. Let's see what he can set for a time. It's going to be a 38.7. It's a good improvement for him. What's Deer Hunter got? It's going to be a 39.1. It's not the best I think Deer Hunter wanted, but it's going to be what he's got. Jared is out into Sector 3, unfortunately. Can Ryan improve and take that podium position away? Him and B-Dunk are only separated by 4 thousandths of a second. But what has Ryan got? That's a 37.5, and that's going to be pole. Just by that little bit, beats out Chandler. And man, what a lap these guys are putting down. These guys are fighting for thousandths on each other. It's just an intense qualify session. Neymar's on his way through. I don't think he's improving. He's got some bad wing damage. Bumps off the wall, retires. It's all good. That'll be our quali session. And as you can see, we got Ryan up front with a 37.5 and Chandler and B-Dunk for P2, P3. Again, with only within a tenth. Like, these guys are very tight with another all the way through. But yeah, very, very interesting.
Currently, right now, the 3 strongest teams is looking like Mercedes up right now. And it's a pretty close battle between the Mercs and the Red Bulls, don't you think?
It'll be it's an interesting fight, but the question is how the race is going to go. Because if there's a safety car, that could really throw around points for everybody, right? Not to say that Tier 1 typically has a safety car, but we did see a few cars not make it a quali. Then again, they're probably pushing a little harder than they would want to, just try to get that lap down, but we'll have to see.
No, also definitely mix up the strategy, too. Seeing these guys may potentially want to do the softs to hards, as the other provisional strategy is the soft, medium, medium, but we will see depending on what the safety car does.
Can't see these guys doing a whole lot of 2-stops, not without a safety car. I could see a lot of soft to hards, but these guys will probably drag out the hards as far as they can go and get off those softs fairly early, or try to drag them out, but I can imagine a lot of these guys pitting around lap 7, 8, and onto the hards until the end, and we'll have to see how that goes. Because, again, you can't pit at the same time as your teammate, so how are these guys going to strategize their undercut, overcut, and such? That will be the deciding factor here at Baku, I believe. So, we shall see. As these guys are getting on with their formation lap, showing you that, yeah, it's the soft to hard or the soft, medium, soft, as Ryan has optimally selected. I'm guessing he's thinking he can drag out the tires a little bit farther. These guys are fairly good on deg and know how far they can drag it. Everyone's just making their way through to turn 2.
As the tire strategy, at least below top 10, is quite interesting. Only driver outside top 10 is the Ferrari, while everybody else is on mediums except for BRL Williams on the hards.
I'm not going to discount BRL Williams. The hards are definitely interesting strategy. I have considered it myself. Although in Tier 1, with less safety cars, as per usual, is typically for Tier 1, I'm not so sure the hards will come into play, but if there's an early safety car, that could pay huge dividends to him. So we'll definitely have to see how that develops for BRL Williams, see if he can maybe take out, get a few positions off the hop. Maybe on the hards, not the easiest thing to do, but with everybody else behind on those mediums, might be a little bit easier.
Yeah, because the only difficult strategy, at least with the hards, is keeping up with all the other guys to stay within DRS range, and also if there's a safety car, just keeping the tires nice and warm.
Well, being P11, I can kind of not blame him for wanting to try and pick that ultimate different strategy, but it's risky. We'll have to see how it pays out. I really do hope it pays out because that's kind of the strategy I want to do. So let's see how it works. As most of these guys are on softs, Mattia at the back on soft. He's going to try and make the pack fairly early. We'll have to see how he does. Maybe we'll see some good overtaking from the back of the pack rather than the front, I would imagine, with just the way the tires are and the way the track is. These guys are all trying to warm up their tires, keep it good, but some people going a little slow. You guys got to catch up to the guys ahead. They're going to be sitting on cold tire pretty badly. But all these guys are now collected by the AI, so we shall see how these guys get off. Only 16 drivers today. Let's see how many will finish. As we start at the front with New Zealand Ryan and Chandler Seda on her front row. B-Dunk Hoopalicious second row. Brondi Jared for third row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Oh, a good launch in the back, but lots of movement from everybody else. Ryan gets a good run out of the first corner and gets ahead. Chandler not too far behind. B-Dunk moving ahead of Hoopalicious, I believe. And Ginger Horizon and everybody else is having some issues. Some wings coming off there, I can see. Everyone trying to filter in for a spot at this point. Not the easiest thing to do. As Master Berserk and Mattia have both moved up 2 positions, or from the beginning, doing pretty good for themselves. Or maybe Master Berserk has fallen off a little bit. But yeah, BRL Williams not fallen off since the start. He's just going to try and hold on to everybody else at the back as the 2 Ferraris are fighting their way through course now, fighting their way into Castle. Mattia lets Master Berserk through, but that's not definitely helping their run early so far. Deer Hunter's fallen down to the back, but I'm hoping he's got some sort of strategy play for himself on those mediums. Williams has been overtaken by the 2 Ferraris just being on the different tire, but he's lost a lot of wing. I don't know what happened to him there. Maybe cold tires, maybe somebody else pushed him into a wall, but there's more and more damage at the back. I think Deer Hunter also needs a wing at this point, which is not going to help the Racing Point team whatsoever. As Perondi's looking at a move on Hoopalicious with some strong split stream, pushing with overtake now. He's going to make the move fairly nicely done and easy. But man, this has been a race. The front guys are definitely got a lot going on as, yeah, we got BRL Williams into the pits now to change up his wing and strategy. We have a few other drivers into the pit. We have Ginger Horizon coming out. Deer Hunter waiting his turn to go through. Mean Fern with getting a new wing. Master Berserk getting a new wing and jumping onto the hard. So lots of changes going on so far.
Yeah, and so far it's just been pretty much just a train behind everybody with Chandler right now. Not a whole lot of positions changed besides, I believe, Ginger Horizon and Jackley were battling the entire lap 1.
Oh, there's lots of battles going on as these 2 are fighting right through Castle a little bit. Between Finfan and Mattia. But Mattia doing well so far on those softs from the back. Crashing out in quali, unfortunately, but already moved up 6 positions. So doing quite well for himself. Jackley's trying to chase down Max Stalos, but I don't think he's got the split stream or the track to do it. Everyone's just filtering into this line, but New Zealand Ryan's got about a second gap to Chandler on lap 3, so I'm guessing he's just trying to stay out of that DRS. B-Dunk further in behind, but oh, who's that? Is that William? No, that's Deer Hunter, who's had a like after getting the hards, he's spun it. Poor Deer Hunter. That's not what he wants. Mattia into the pits. I guess he had wing damage as well. Didn't want to pit the same time as Master Berserk. Good on him. He's going to try and continue his run on those mediums, as the front runners are all still on those softs.
Esperandi's all over the back of Deer Hunter. Same with Jared all over the back of Hoop. So definitely be interesting once they get down to the back straight for the DRS straight.
Now, B-Dunk's a little bit back from our 1-2 right now, but I'm guessing he's just trying to hold his position, as he does have Hoopalicious and Parandi looking for probably a move, and Jared, I'm guessing, will probably try to make a move down that straight there. So we'll have to see how that works out for these guys. But, Stalos with wing damage earlier. How he got that, probably contact with a few other drivers, unfortunately, but that's back. It's very tight around here. Let's see if Parandi can make a move. We do have a yellow sector flag. Deer tired in the pits, unfortunately for him. So I understandably why, but yeah, not the race he definitely wanted, unfortunately. Hoopalicious into the pits, and that's going to promote Jackley the position, and Stalos into the pits. So he's just waiting for his teammate to go through. He slowed himself up a little bit there, as most of our top runners have already gotten off the softs, depending on wing damage. So
Apparently this is going a great race for Jackley, our new Tier 1 driver.
yeah, it's kind of fallen into his hands. He's a little bit off the front pack, but kept his nose out of trouble and is up into P6 with a 7 or 6 second gap behind him on a medium runner. So I'm sure he's going to lose a few positions when they do come into pit, but so far so good for him. As yeah, Stalos and Hoopalicious have both jumped onto the hards until the end. The only drivers that didn't were Master Berserk, Williams, and ABR Mattia. But I don't know if Master Berserk had to get a second wing, and that's why. He's already got wing damage again. He's going to go back into the pits. I wonder if he's going to retire as well or try to stay with it. I think he's going to try and stick with it, grab the hard tires and a new set of wing, and go from there.
Right now on board with BRL Parandi all over the back of B-Dunk. 610 should be having a DRS here, see if he can make a move with also DRC Jared right behind.
I think Parandi definitely might have the move, but with DRS and Splitstream, it's not enough. B-Dunk probably just using a little bit more energy to get through there, but so far so good for these guys here, as Parandi is really trying to close in that gap. Jared is a half a second back on him as well, so these three are all fighting it out, all of them with DRS in their own little chain, while Chandler and Ryan are trying to fight it out for a 1-2 right now. Chandler taking a easy lead, but we have Williams and Stalos. What happened to him? Has he got more wing damage, or is it just the hards? I think that might have been more wing damage. As BRL Williams is trying to make a bit of a recovery race on those mediums, trying to get ahead. Started on the hards, didn't work out for him with the damage, unfortunately, with other drivers, but better than wasting a set of tires he didn't want to use. As Mattia is into the pits for a new wing and onto hards as well. Not been exactly the race he wanted, but Baku is not exactly an easy place to start off a season, so can't blame him there. Parandi is just trying to catch on to the back of B-Dunk. I think he's a little bit closer this time around. He's trying to get a good run to try and make it done and over with this time around. But B-Dunk gets a slightly better run, but Parandi trying to close it in now. Pushing with overtake. Can he get it done this time with DRS? B-Dunk taking a more defensive line, but oh, they're going right into the pits. Chandler into the pits. No. Chandler into the pits, yes. B-Dunk into the pits. Bronny into the pits. The two Mercs running ahead. And that's going to promote Jackley up to P3 for right now. Everybody else onto the hards, trying to get that undercut done. We have a yellow Sector 2. I don't know if that's for Mattia or Master Berserk. But, I think that was Mattia. Didn't take any more wing damage.
Made a move on Neymar with his teammate Chandler right behind.
A little half sandwich going on over there. With the Neymar in the middle of the medium and the hard runner, but Chandler having pace on those hard tires already, trying to get back out there, trying to catch up to Ryan and Jared and Jackley. Trying to make that undercut worth it on those hards, trying to go to the end. As we have Neymar, who's, I don't know if he got pushed to the wall or he hit the wall, but yeah, he's lost some wing there, and that's not going to help his run. Sure, he's going to want to go into the pits for a set of hards now, but yeah, we have multiple. Oh, that's BRL Williams with more wing damage. It's really not been his race, unfortunately. I don't know if that was contact as well with maybe Mean Fern, but I don't think so. I think it's just been not his race, really. As Ryan is into the pits now. Master Berserk is going to retire in the pits, understandably. As Jackley and Jared get promoted with Ryan going into the pits. But is Chandler going to catch him? Is Ryan's out of the pits now. Chandler's a little bit closer than where he was, I think. Maybe have fallen off a little bit. He was 1 second before, now he's 2 seconds off, so the traffic might have really slowed him up for that little bit.
B-Dunk makes a move around the outside on FinFan, with Brandi potentially trying to get around FinFan going into turn 3.
Yeah, I'm just watching on board with them. FinFan having a hard time with traction, and Brandi trying to make a move on those hards. Trying to make a good look for it, but unable to so far. Brandi just being very patient, very cautious with the way that they do their overtakes. I'm sure they're waiting for an appropriate time to do so. But BRL Williams into the pits now to get a new wing. Probably jump back onto the hards, yep. Brandi trying to get another good run. Try and make an overtake done down the DRS straight. Is he closer to FinFan? About the same gap as he did to B-Dunk when he couldn't get around, but maybe we'll see FinFan not necessarily farther this time around compared to where B-Dunk was. And he's right on the back of him before DRS, so he's going to be able to just try and slide his way through. FinFan without DRS is going to try and do what he can to defend and hold his line, but not a whole lot can be done. Jackley into the pits, Jared into the pits, and out on those hards. So we got some people shaking up, moving around. New Zealand Ryan, Chandler Sato, and B-Dunk still your 1, 2, 3 after all the pit movements. Jared, I believe, has moved up from P5, but we'll take a look. Everyone but FinFan have made a stop at this point. A few others have made multiple stops due to wings. FinFan moving up the most positions, but still having yet to pit. Jared up 2. Nobody in the top 3 have made a movement so far. It's just been the way it is since quali, and Pirandi hasn't made much of a move from P5. Jackley doing good to move up 3 positions so far onto the hards. Doing a pretty good race for himself. Hoopalish is not too far back, trying to catch into him as well. Ginger Horizon right on the back of him, so. And Neymar is on the back of Mean Fern. So there is quite a few battles going on between different drivers all the way through. Definitely a one-on-one track.
Yeah, this is definitely a track where you can at least run behind somebody for quite a while and not really lose too much pace off of them.
Oh, his
Ooh,
B-Dunk's lost some speed and Jared's through. Is Pirandi going to be able to catch down on B-Dunk? I think he is. I don't know what B-Dunk had, or if he lost a little bit of traction and grip and just wasn't able to hold it. He's trying to hold on to the back of Jared. They're all very low to the wall. B-Dunk getting slightly around with DRS. Jared holding that low line. Pirandi trying to make a move on the two of them while they're squabbling for a position. He backs out of it as Jared's trying to take that higher line. Jared leaving a little bit of room, but B-Dunk and him side by side coming down into turn 2. Jared goes a little bit deeper, too deep actually, and he is off. He does a quick reverse, but that's still wing damage for him. And FinFan and is going to be able to slide through. Jackley as well slides through. Ginger Horizon right onto the back of him as well. Hoopalicious might even slide through. And yeah, Jared not having the run he wanted with, retires, unfortunately. On track after losing his wing.
I actually believe that was a disqualification for Jared. Going the wrong
Oh, was
way.
it? My apologies
Yeah.
then. If he couldn't move for over 10 seconds due to other cars, maybe that would be why. But yeah, I did not see that at the bottom, so my apologies there.
Little
Yes,
lockup on
Mean Fern and
Pirandi's end
Neymar.
right for the castle section. As Neymar makes the move around Mean Fern, around the inside. And
Yeah. He had DRS, he had the pace, was able to make it done. Let's see if Pirandi can try to make another move on B-Dunk now that Jared is out of the way. He's a little bit closer this time than he was on previous laps. Trying to make his way through to get it done. FinFan taking off wing? Yeah, FinFan's lost some wing. That's probably going to help Jackley on his run to get a few more points, but Pirandi just trying to grab split stream off of B-Dunk here. Can he get it done with DRS? Definitely this time around as he goes low, leaving B-Dunk the high line, but these two are going to fight it out. Pirandi getting back to the racing line just before the corner, and he's up into P3. B-Dunk right onto the back of him, though. Probably going to want to try and get DRS and make this move done into turn 3, but maybe he's just going to hold on to the back of him. Pirandi trying to break up that split stream as best he can. But B-Dunk has the pace. He's going to go down. He's outside. It's not going to be quite enough, though, as these two have a little bit of a light lockup, and through as FinFan is now grabbing his pit stop and probably a new wing. So he's on his way back out, as Pirandi's going to want to try and maintain his position or even claw into Chandler and Ryan if he can, but we'll have to see. Jackley having a quiet race all alone, but done very well for himself so far. Ginger Horizon kind of doing the same. Hoopalicious not had the best run, but FinFan is definitely doing okay, even though he's had wing damage. Xtalos into the pits again. I do believe, yeah, he's going to retire in the pits. Not sure what that was about, but I'm sure it was due to wing damage and needing another pit and being probably a lap down.
currently looking over all the most positions gained, it's 3 drivers are tied for 5 positions, with our Ferrari driver, ABR Mattia, in P11 with 5 positions gained. FinFan also with 5 positions in P8, and also Jackley, our new Tier 1 driver.
Yeah, but BRL Williams is clawing in. He's under a second now to Mattia at the back. He's been clawing in time just steadily. Maybe just having a bit more pace on the tires, but either that or maybe Mattia grabbed some wing damage somewhere and is struggling with the car. Doesn't quite look like it though. He's just trying to grab as much track as he can. Definitely trying to stay away from the racing point, but this Hoopalicious is into the pits. And he's on to hards, or mediums, probably for another stack, maybe going for that soft, medium, soft run. Not exactly sure what his plan of action is at this point, but he's already made 2 stops. He's got Neymar right on the back of him, but Neymar's got DRS. Not had the best traction out of turn 2, but he's going to definitely try and make something of it. He's got the speed, and backs out of it, a little left-right, considering his choice on Hoopalicious. His Hoop has a decent lock up into turn 3, but yeah, these two are going to be fighting it as BRL Williams got around Mattia down into turn 1 on that DRS straight. I knew he was close. I knew he had the pace as Mattia is all on the back of him, trying his best with probably DRS this time around to claw back into the racing point. Looks for it, not quite enough room to make it done on turn 3 this time around. It's just got to try and stay close, but BRL Williams with a little bit more pace by the looks of it. Could be just a difference in tire though. Dunk is still within a second of Ferrandi, just a little bit off of what he was before when Ferrandi got through, but Ferrandi not making a huge headway on that delta to the guys ahead. Still 5.7 seconds out from them, but trying to claw it back as best he can as Ginger Horizon slowly but surely clawing his way into Jackley, trying to grab that 5th position. Give McLaren a 4-5 hopefully to the end here.
Tupelicious is all over the back of FinFan and catching as I went on board with him. Set up purple sector 2, so we'll see if he can make a move. No, he doesn't. We'll see if he makes another move on the second DRS straight going into turn 3.
Yeah, but their battle could just pull Meanfern in a little bit if they're not too careful with it. Oh, as we have a yellow sector 1. Is that from... Oh, it's Neymar going off badly. I think that was wing damage for him. Yeah, that's gonna give Meanfern the position. Hoop still looking at the back of FinFan into sector 2. These guys looking to make the different spots than I would expect. Hoopalicious got the pace. Oh, they're fighting all the way, maybe into Castle, because Hoop wants to get around FinFan desperately. Definitely showing him that I ain't sticking around too long back here. Mediums versus hards, I believe, but Deg shouldn't matter too much considering, but Hoopalicious is definitely trying to make a move on FinFan, probably down this straightaway with DRS open, with the split stream being as strong as it is. Gonna try and get around. Hoopalicious right on the back of FinFan, trying to claw into his gearbox at this point before the DRS zone. FinFan goes low, Hoopalicious is going high with DRS. These two are going to fight each other down into turn 1, but I think Hoopalicious is clear through, but FinFan's probably not going to let that slide too much. He's going to want to grab DRS and try to chase him down into turn 3. As Neymar is into the pits, it's probably going to help Mattia and Williams try and grab another position, see what they can do. But yeah, FinFan with DRS trying to close into Hoop. Not quite able to do it, but yeah, Ginger Horizon is now on the back of Jackley. I knew that he was closing in, and he's gone from 1.9 seconds to half a second, so definitely an interesting bout there. Neymar falls to the back, jumping on the hards, but BRL Williams and Mattia on older hards might not have the deg to fight Neymar. We'll have to see, as Ginger Horizon tries to get the inside line on Jackley, but couldn't quite do it there. Backs out a little bit, but wants to try and get a good run for sector 3. See if he can claw in that 0.5 to get that overtake done. Jackley trying to defend as best he can, cleanly at least. It's very good to see. Has DRS on the back. Ginger Horizon trying to make a move. Ginger Horizon just waiting out his time a little bit from the looks of it. I think might try it this time with better traction. Jackley trying to get away with that split stream, but that's not going to make a difference because Ginger's got the pace. I don't know if it flowed up there or if it was just the DRS opening and that's what gave Ginger such a boost, but he seemed to be rapid by comparison. Is Chandler still within that 2-second bubble of New Zealand Ryan? I haven't seen too many penalties up at the top. Perandi's clawed about a second into them. B-Dunk's fallen off about 4 seconds to Perandi. Well, more like 3, but still. Ginger Horizon kind of alone in P5. I don't think he's going to be able to really catch up to the leaders, but definitely able to try and push himself away from Jackley. We have a yellow Sector 1. That's going to be Neymar? Going deep. And I don't think that's wing... No, it's no wing damage. But definitely not helping out his run and a chance to get points. And Jackley's just falling off a little bit to Ginger Horizon. Fortunately not going to be able to try and claw in too much. Still claws it back to that 1 second mark. Maybe with Splitstream he's going to try and keep himself as close as possible, but still not an easy move to do. Seemed that Ginger had a lot more pace in Sector 2 than Jackley, so... Yeah, he's slowly pulling to just that little bit. Yeah. And Perandi's just silently kind of closing in that gap from behind too, so we'll have to see how that turns. Perandi within that 5-second or 6-second-ish window from New Zealand Ryan if he does have penalties. I don't think so, but could still be a factor at the end of this race. New Zealand Ryan having a very Lewis Hamilton performance of being ahead pretty much from the beginning and outset and pretty much just leading the whole race all the way through, so good on him.
The one thing I have noticed with all these Tier 1 drivers, they don't really use their overtake that much, especially on the DRS long straight going into the start-finish straight.
I think a lot of them are better at maintaining it now, not like they were bad at it before, but with the new toggle system, I'm able to save a lot more ERS on my deployment, so maybe these guys are doing much the same, but I think they're just trying to save it for those straightaways, those DRS zones to get ahead. Otherwise, better to hold on to it, I think. Ginger Horizon now looking into some trouble as his tire deg is going to be a little bit higher than Jackley's, as Jackley's clawed it all the way back into within a half a second of Ginger Horizon, now within DRS zone range again. Trying to get up to him before turn 3. Not had the best traction out of turn 2, but does have DRS to close it back in. Lock up from both drivers of Ginger Horizon and Jackley as they're trying to make their way through, but Jackley's still staying to that 1 second gap. Chandler's still trying to close in that little bit of a gap, almost within 1 second now, coming out of Castle section with New Zealand Ryan, but yeah, not an easy task for Chandler to try and close in. Do his best now, but hopefully he'll be within striking distance in a few laps and give us maybe 8-9 laps of a battle all the way to the end. As he is within 1 second, if he can hold it all the way down to the DRS detection, that would be definitely ideal. Not quite able to do it, but maybe does. He does have DRS this time around, as do have more issues around Sector 1. Is that Mattia having a spin again? Yes, unfortunately. And yeah, Chandler just closing in, now within under a second of New Zealand Ryan. How much power does it... Ryan's been pushing pretty hard. Even Chandler's got more ERS than him, so... Poopalish is taking a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. But, yeah. Chandler within a second. Closest battle on track.
Now, Wrathful, who do you think's going to win this race? Either Ryan or Chandler?
Well, who knows? These guys could get side by side to one another and take each other out by accident, and maybe give Perandi, B-Dunk, and Ginger the podiums. You never know. As we have a yellow, oh, virtual safety cars. There is a crash into the castle section. I think that's Mattia out. Yeah, unfortunately. Who's going through there? I believe that's, yeah, the car is already taken off, but Mattia out, unfortunately, into castle section, so that's a virtual safety car. That's going to allow these guys to grab a little bit of a drink for their ERS supply, maybe a little bit more fuel, but Chandler definitely wanting to stay close on that Delta. ERS is enabled again, stays within that 1 second gap. Rondi fell off a little bit with the VSC, but definitely wanting to close in more and more time. BRL Williams having a bit of a quiet race. Yeah. With Mattia gone, I guess he was at the back, doesn't really make a difference, but yeah, Williams up into E9, but he's got Mean Fern right on the back of him too. Ryan was able to pull out a little bit of time with the VSC changing up the pace, but I'm sure Chandler will be right back on to him again, as Mean Fern is within a second of BRL Williams on those fresher mediums, just gone into the pits to go to the end. These guys fighting it out for the bottom barrel positions, still points though, and points are points to these guys. They still desperately want and need those. His Fin Fan's into the pits as well, maybe going for softs to the end? I'm not sure about 8 laps of softs. They don't last very long, but maybe these guys can handle a little bit better. Going mediums to the end. Yeah. And Fin Fan is back out of the pits, but is that going to help BRL Williams and Mean Fern catch into him a little bit? Maybe make a 3-way fight for 7 or 8, 9, 10. Mean Fern thinks
X out of it.
It would have been a dive for sure. Would have been a very interesting dive. Definitely 50-50 on that one if he decided for it. But Mean Fern just trying to get a better traction zone than BRL Williams with the DRS. He's going to try and make a move into turn 3 with all the pace he does have. Goes down the inside. Brakes a little early. And yes, right on through. BRL Williams still holding on to that P10 spot. Still going to collect points. Definitely wanting to hold on to the back of Mean Fern as long as he can. But, yeah. Chandler within 1.4, 1.5. Rondi closed in within a second. And everyone else is kind of moving around. Ginger Horizon into the pits now. I'm surprised he's into the pits, but maybe he knows that he's got the gap and he wants the fastest lap. Oh, he's grabbing a new wing. Medium tires to the end. Is that going to get Delicious close enough? Maybe just to get him involved. This Ginger's trying to get his way out of the pits. He's going to be on fresher tires than Hoopalicious. Maybe be able to close it up on him at the end. But Chandler's still trying to close in that gap. Chat has been awfully quiet tonight. Who do you guys think is going to win it? Is it going to be Chandler or Ryan? Maybe Ferrandi closes in a little bit more. But I think Ryan has him for now, but Chandler definitely has a lot more ERS and trying to close back down into Ryan. So definitely a battle of strategy. Yeah.
See a new face on the top step. Definitely be an interesting race.
And Jackley's done okay for himself up in 5. So not a bad race for these guys. Let's see how many stops. few two stops mixed in with the group, but most people are going still for that one stop strategy. Jackley up 5 positions, FinFan and Meanfern up 5 positions. So we got a whole draw and battle on who's driver of the day. We'll have to see. Maybe Jackley only because he has the higher position. So, but yeah, it's been a good race so far. Chandler's still trying to close in that gap.
Same goes for Ginger Horizon on Hoopalicious. Should be within DRS range coming. Wow.
Close to DRS range. Definitely pushing to try and get within it of Hoopalicious to get another placement, get a few more points up on that board. But yeah. As Ginger Horizon setting a purple sector 1 on those mediums. So those tires quite fresh compared to everybody else. Feeling quite good compared to everybody else. Is yeah, BRL Williams and are still within 1.5. Ginger Horizon right on the back of Hoopalicious. I'm sure it'll be another move down into turn 1 by the time that does take place. But BRL Williams just trying to hold on to the back of Meanfern. Wondering if he knows that there's penalties at play. Maybe Meanfern does have a 3-second, and maybe that'll change up a few things. As well as stewards typically change up our placement at the end order anyhow, so. Ginger's right on the back of Hoop, but 0.5 out, the split stream, he's closing. With DRS, it might be a little bit too much to close in before turn 1, but he's going to be nice and close to Hoop going into turn 1. As he does set the fastest lap of the race with a 42 flat. Hoopalicious locking it up. Doesn't go too deep, but Ginger right on him with 1/10. Making it to turn 2. Both of these guys fighting for traction. Hoop going right to the wall, trying to grab as much as he can. Trying to break up that split stream on Ginger. And Ginger trying to now make his way through on the outside into turn 3. Not able to do it, but Hoop locking up a light tap from Ginger. I don't think that caused any wing damage, but oh, it might have. Yeah, it's not great. As Ginger's just trying to chase him down. These guys locking it up, just trying to break later than the other guy, fighting all the way through the course. Ginger's probably just trying to get close enough to the back of Hoop, who's really pushing to build that gap as much as he can. Hoop having pretty much on par for energy, so these two are going to really try to fight it out. Maybe Hoop will just let him go this time around, knowing that there's only a few laps left and DRS is right there. These two might fight it out down to the final lap. As Hoop goes down the... Oh! Ginger makes a move down the inside and takes a very sharp angle, but does get it done on Ginger. Ginger makes the switch and gets ahead of Ginger. Ginger's still got DRS coming down into turn 2, turn 3. Hoopalicious trying to cover him off, but Ginger gets all that split stream, kind of predicting where Hoopalicious was going. These two going side by side into turn 3 again. Is it going to be a little bit cleaner than last time? Yes. Both lock up from drivers as they're both trying to sneak their way through. Ginger right on the back of them, trying to find any room to make a pass at any point in this track. In through Castle. I think just trying to force Hoopalicious into a mistake at this point, try to make it easier on himself. Oh, Ginger pushing hard, Hoop not getting the best traction out of that corner there and going a bit wide. Ginger trying to just stay on the back of him. Didn't want to get ahead of Hoop and give Hoop DRS. So, definitely trying to... Oh, as Hoop takes a little bit of the wall, I wonder if that's wing damage as well. Trying to fight the car. Maybe the tires are a bit of a hassle at this point for some of these drivers. 10-lap mediums are probably not feeling super nice compared to 2-lap mediums. That might have been light contact to give him that squirt.
As I believe we have yellow flag right before castle section. Neymar.
I think that's for Neymar, yeah.
Minor bit of wing damage for him. I've just spun the car around. As I do believe Hooplicious has right end plate damage. Could have been from that contact.
Yes.
Sector 1.
I wonder how the stewards will find that, especially if these guys are so close to the end. A 3-second penalty from the stewards could definitely just change up the position like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. Guys are chasing each other through Castle. Hoopalicious losing quite a bit of time, not having that end plate and being on those older mediums. But oh, Neymar out. And Jackley just got through him there. I think B-Dunk might be... Oh, no. It's Ginger that's going through there. But, yeah, Neymar unfortunately losing it. And we have a yellow sector 1, 2, and 3 as the Williams having a little bit of a moment to lose some speed. But now we're down to our final 10 drivers. That will be the end of it for who's going to be making points. It will be these top 10 drivers, as we did lose out BRL Neymar, ABR Mattia, Max Stalus, 95, Master Berserk, Deer Hunter, and DRC Jared, as Hoopalicious is now into the pits to, I guess, grab a wing and maybe soft tires to get the fastest lap. Yep. Probably just try to catch up into the back of FinFan, try to grab P7 still on those softs, as FinFan is making his way through on somewhat fresh mediums. They won't have the best fight against the fresh softs, but with Hoop staying slightly ahead. Oh, but FinFan's got DRS right on him, right out of the pits. Hoop cannot get away from a fight. He has had to fight Ginger, he's now had to fight FinFan. Hoop just tries to make a later dive, and does so. FinFan has to kind of watch himself. Little kick of oversteer, but he grabs it quite nicely. As Hoopalicious is on his way through with those softs, trying to make something else of it. BRL Williams out onto the softs from P10. Nothing wrong from that. He's just trying to get the fastest lap as well. Maybe grab an extra point for himself for his troubles. Considering the way that the race has gone for himself, I can see why he would want that. So, but yeah, Chandler falling not necessarily off of Ryan, but never really able to catch up that 1.5 from the VSC, which I think took out his bit of momentum, as it were. No other real battles on track, but Ginger Horizon going to take a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as he's into the pit as well, and a 5-second for speeding into the pits, grabbing fresh soft tires. That might give Hoop and FinFan a chance to grab that position of P6, P7 from Ginger, so we'll have to definitely see how that works. FinFan's got to just stay close enough that those penalties will make a difference, but Ginger Horizon just trying to get through. Not too far ahead of Hoop, but those penalties will be detrimental. Rondi falling off a little bit, just trying to maintain his gap. Same with B-Dunk.
Chandler slowly reeling in New Zealand Ryan. I believe it was 2 seconds, about 2 laps ago now. It's reeled into 1.6.
Yeah, looks like they have about the same energy. Chandler's given it everything he's got to try and catch back up, but unfortunately not enough after the restart from that VSC.
As going on board Hoopalish. It sets a purple sector 1. It will be
Oh, he
interesting.
takes off a little bit of wing into Castle, so he's not going to get fastest lap, I don't think. He's going to try and limp that all the way to the end. That might give FinFan a chance to catch up into him, already clawing in about 0.5 of a second just from traction zone. So, points are still on the board for pretty much anybody in the mid-pack or closer to the back at this point, so. Hoopalicious with a 3-second time penalty. That's going to help FinFan and Ginger Horizon, so it's all shaking up to the end here. What's going to happen with these guys in the mid-pack? As Ryan is on his way through, being chased by Chandler as they're on their final lap, on their way through, coming down into Sector 3 now. But yeah, good on our top runners for doing the strategy that they did. A lot of them did the soft to hard. Everybody else having some wing damage and some complications.
As Bureau Williams provisionally sets the fastest lap with 40.3.
Okay, so I got kicked from the session right at the end
It's all going to come
because
down to see what Ginger Horizons.
I got kicked out at the end. So I don't know what happened at the end there, unfortunately, but yeah, my batteries died. Try to come back, kicked me from the game.
Well, Bureau Williams sets a 40.3 fastest lap. As I got kicked too, Jack Lee was in P5.
If you got the record final order, because you just in case, but I'm sure all these guys will have it. Not sure what that is all about. Thanks, Cody's, for making a flawless game that clearly has no freaking issues. But we'll get down to the end here. Sorry about that, but Cody's. Not a whole lot I can do about that one. Thank you all for joining the stream tonight. Try and at least get the podium interviews done still, as soon as I get back in there at the very least.
Looks like everybody got kicked as soon as they crossed the line.
Ah,
After reading the tier
that's
1
interesting.
chat. So
That's a great game glitch. So do we have all the penalties and whatnot? Can we even see the final order? Is there even a final order? What's going on?
last time I do remember at least checking penalties, no Master Berserk, Neymar had penalties, and then it'd just be Hoopalicious, I believe, too.
Yeah, that was very odd. It seemed as all these guys were coming down over the line. Fortunately, might have to call the stream. I'm not so sure. Would like to try at least getting the podium interviews if we can.
Should be New Zealand Ryan, Chandler, and Perundi. The podium
Well, I do not have them on my friends list, so if you can try and get them in here, unless you got kicked too, and not a whole lot we can do, but hopefully we can get these guys in here. No, can't see them. I don't have them online. That's okay. Well, that was our BRL Tier 1. Unfortunately, it's not gone the way we wanted it to, but I'm probably going to cut the stream here. Have yourselves a wonderful night. We will see you on Monday for the Tier 3 and Tier 4 race. See you then. Oh, we do have Chandler. Never mind. So we are getting these guys in here. Never mind.
Yep. Tossing them in place. Just need to get Peron in here.
Try to get these podium interviews done at very least, but that was definitely an interesting race considering the end. Yep.
Hi. I believe we have Ryan and Chandler in here just waiting on.
Still waiting on Perandi, but we do have Ryan at very least.
Hi.
How's it going there, sir? Guessing you've
Not
included
bad.
your audio, yes?
Yes.
That was definitely an interesting race. Unfortunately, I didn't get the final order with everybody from the lobby, but yeah, that was definitely close. How did you think you felt with Chandler catching up so close, at the end there before the virtual safety car?
Yeah, it's quite the sweaty affair. It was, I don't know, just one mistake and he's in my DRS and then he'd make a mistake and let me off for a little bit. So, I don't know, it's quite good.
It was definitely an interesting race. I kind of thought you would try to keep that pace ahead, but it seems the Tier 1 guys do make mistakes, as minor as they are. But yeah, it was a decent race. Man, lots of little incidents, accidents, wall damage. It's going to be Stewart's report, but good race from you.
Thank you.
Chandler, are you back there, boy? No, not. Awesome. You got your audio included there? And what's your take? Did you feel like you would have had him if the VSC didn't come out? Did you have the pace? Did it kill your momentum there, or what happened?
Oh, I mean, I had the pace, but just Ryan is too consistent and just as fast, if not faster than me, throughout the race. So it made it a lot difficult. My performance, though, just like compared to the last race I had here, which was Wednesday, I felt like I was a lot more messy today. Like going through the castle section in particular, that was just horrible every lap, as opposed to Wednesday where it was no issue every lap. But pace was good, and I really don't care that I finished not in P1. I could have finished P9 and be fine with it because I finally finished the race. The game did not crash, so I don't care where I finished. It's fine. It's fine.
Fair enough. That it was still a very good race from you, though, overall. And Baku is kind of like a Monaco. It's kind of a deadly track. It's not the easiest one to get through. Seems like it did have a few people that did get caught out by it, but good to see that you guys didn't, especially yourself. You didn't get caught out by it, but yeah. Talk to these guys. Ask them anything.
No, I'm just trying to get the race results.
Fair enough.
Questions wise, I had more questions for Perandi just because the battle between the guys in 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, there was a few interesting mid-pack battles on the way through, but I'm not sure where Perandi is or if he's going to be able to get in here. I'm hoping he would, but
He doesn't usually join.
perhaps
so I
not.
don't know.
Doesn't usually? Okay. Well, if so, then I'll probably cut the stream here then, and then you guys can have yourselves a good night. Thank you all for coming in and enjoying the stream, and thank you for the drivers that did make it and did make the run today. But that has been BRL, and we shall catch you all next time.